This is me testing my sound because my roommates are watching TV and I want to make sure you guys can't hear all of it. Okay. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Amber, just in case you didn't know, and thank you so much for joining me today. And today is the first video of a new series I'm going to be starting calling True or Theory Tuesday, and basically what it is I'm either going to be talking about true crime or conspiracy theories either every Tuesday or every other Tuesday. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I want to make it where it's like every week there's a vlog on a Friday and like every other Tuesday there's a true crime or a conspiracy theory video, or if I want to do it the other way around. But I guess we're just gonna wait and see what happens. And today I'm going to be talking about the butterfly effect. And if you don't know what the butterfly effect is, it's basically a theory that I don't know what they're doing. I asked them to turn it down a little bit, so if you can still hear it, I'm sorry, but you probably still can because I can still hear it, but they don't know I'm filming. It's okay, it's fine. Where was I? I don't even think I started what I was talking about yet. Okay. If you don't know what the butterfly effect is, it's basically the theory that small changes to initial conditions can have large outcomes. If you haven't heard about the butterfly effect in theory, then you've probably heard about it in the movie that came out in 2012 that starred Ashton Kutcher. And I've personally never seen this movie. I just heard about it literally a month ago. So, but I did look up the plot and I got a summary. So basically, Ashton Kutcher plays a 20-year-old college student named Evan Treborn, with co-star Amy Smart playing his childhood sweetheart, Kaylee Miller. Evan finds that he can travel back in time to inhabit his former self, so his current, more mature, wiser thoughts, in his younger body. He tries to change the present by changing his past behaviors and experiences. Evan, being the victim of several childhood traumas aggravated by stress-induced memory loss, attempts to set things right for himself and his friends, but there are unintended consequences for all characters. The film draws heavily on flashbacks of all the characters' lives, ages 7 to 13, and shows various alternate present-day outcomes as Evan tries to change the past before settling on the final outcome. Now, I've never seen this movie because I'm not a movie person at all. I've also heard it's a bad movie, so I'm not going to like through an hour and a half of a movie that's bad for research, so I'm sorry, but yeah, that's not how I heard about this theory, believe it or not. I heard about this theory in like 8th grade from the game Life is Strange, and if you don't know what Life is Strange is, it's about a girl named Max who's like a photographer, and she discovers that she has like time traveling abilities, so she can like go back in time. I watched PewDiePie play it whenever he did his playthrough. I think it was PewDiePie. It was someone like that. Not too sure. Yeah, and I really liked the game, I really liked the playthrough, and I found a theory that related to the butterfly effect, and it's because there's like multiple scenes within the game that show butterflies, like right before she would have to go back in time. There's one scene where she's in the bathroom and there's a butterfly and she takes a picture of it, and then right after that her friend like comes in and it's like this drug dealing thing, and she witnesses her friend get shot. So she has to go back in time and fix the situation so her friend doesn't die. Stuff like that.
Okay, Max, retrace every step. I washed my face.
Yeah, splatter.
I shredded my photo. Then the butterfly flew in.
This theory, it's like shown in a lot of it's shown in a lot of things. Like there's a lot of movies based around it, there's a lot of games based around it, and I just think it's really interesting. So I'm gonna start out with like the scientific stuff. Hold on, I have my notes right here. I have to burp. Okay. The butterfly theory goes back to over 40 years ago, to the 139th meeting of the American Association of the Advancement of Science, where Edward Lorenz said, "Does the butterfly's wings in Brazil set off a tornado in Texas?" And you've probably heard that quote in like multiple different variations. There's like a lot of different versions of that quote. Like I know there's one where it's like, if a butterfly's wings flap in Florida, can it cause a tsunami in Japan or something like that? So that quote, there's just like a lot of variations of that quote, but that's like the original quote, you know? The butterfly effect is a branch of the chaos theory. It's one of the principles of the chaos theory, and the chaos theory is basically the theory that teaches to like expect the unexpected. It's basically based around like the science of surprises and like a whole bunch of nonlinear things that are impossible to predict or control, like the weather or the stock market and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really not good at these kind of videos, am I? It's okay. Scientifically, this effect grants the power to cause a hurricane in China, something like that, by just a butterfly flapping its wings. And though this does take a while, it is like proven to be true, because if that butterfly wouldn't have flapped its wings in that exact moment in space and time, then that hurricane would have never happened. So like the official definition I found of the butterfly effect is the butterfly effect illustrates the idea that some dynamical systems exhibit unpredictable behaviors, that such small variances in the initial conditions could have profound and widely divergent effects on the system's outcomes. And like I said earlier, a more simple way to put that is that changes, no matter how small or big, to initial conditions can have a drastic impact on the outcome of the situation. One small thing that could happen can cause a ripple of actions in the future. If that one small thing didn't happen, none of the following outcomes would have happened. And there's like a lot of ways that this can like be shown throughout your life if you like really think about it. Just like if one thing didn't happen, what else couldn't have? And there's like the basic, oh, if your parents never met, then you wouldn't exist. Or if your grandparents never met, your parents would have never met or existed. And you would have never existed. Your life wouldn't be the way it is now, which is really weird to think about. You probably can't hear. It's really weird to think about, is what I said. So this theory was founded on the effects of like weather and stuff, just like the unpredictability, is that the word? It's based around like the fact that you can't really predict the weather. You can like guess, but it's not really like possible to predict it. And thinking back on my life, some things that would have never happened if something else didn't happen. One really big one for me is I was in band all like 3 years of middle school or junior high, depending on where you're from. Going into my freshman year, coming out of 8th grade, I did not want to do band in high school. We had like pep band in middle school. I wasn't really into it. I didn't really want to do that. So I didn't want to do it in high school. And my mom was like, okay, like at least go to band camp like before you decide. You might like it, you don't know. And so I did go to band camp my freshman year, and I ended up really liking it. I ended up liking all of the people. And if I would have never joined marching band in high school, I wouldn't have met any of my friends I have now, honestly. Like I would have never met Caitlin or Christian or Jacob or Walker, and you guys have seen them a lot in my videos. I would have never met any of them, and that means if I would have met Caitlin, I would have never met Eddie. If I would have never joined band, I never would have met one of my old friends who introduced me to my first boyfriend. There's just like so many things that like could have happened that would have led to so many things not happening. And honestly, a lot of my relationships stem from band. So if I would have never joined band, I honestly probably still would not have had a relationship because I suck at flirting. But I was in band, so. Another thing that if it would have never happened, things wouldn't be how they are now. Second semester of my junior year, I was enrolled into online Spanish for dual enrollment. So I did like online Spanish for the college in my town, and that brought down my GPA a lot. And if I would have never taken that class, I probably wouldn't be at Georgia Southern right now like I am. I would probably be at Florida State, which is the school I wanted to go to, but my GPA wasn't good enough, so. This theory is also shown a lot throughout history. Obviously, in the first situation I'm going to be talking about, I actually heard from one of Kendall Rae's videos that she made like a while ago. She talked about the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand. And if you don't know, the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand caused World War I, which was a really bad war. Obviously, like 17 million people died? I don't know. So basically, the day Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated, there was like a grenade in his car or something, like there was like an explosion, and he was fine, and like he went home. And then later on that day, him and his wife went to go see a few of the victims that, got hurt from the explosion. While he was on the way to go see the victims, his driver took like a wrong turn and their car stalled. So they were literally just like sitting there. Back then the cars were open, and someone walked up and killed Archduke and his wife, and that stemmed World War I. So basically how the theory fits into this is if that driver would have never taken a wrong turn, and there is a possibility that World War I would have never happened. Probably so many lives would have been saved because there was also World War II after that, and how many people died in World War II? In World War II, 70 million people died. That poor dude. It's okay. He probably doesn't even know how many people he killed. Another situation I found that the butterfly effect could fit into was the Cuban Missile Crisis. And this one I hadn't heard about. I thought it was really interesting, so I'm probably going to read this one because I don't know this one as well. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, there was a man named Vasily Arkhipov, and he was stationed on a submarine that had like nuclear-based weapons near Cuba. While Vasily was stationed on this submarine, American ships and aircrafts would use depth charges to signal if the submarine needed to like resurface and identify itself. Basically, just like if they needed help, if anything happened. And at one point, there was like a cut in communication, like the submarine couldn't contact anyone up in the real world, and they didn't know what was going on. And the captain of the submarine, Savitsky? The captain of the submarine, Savitsky, decided that the signal meant war had broken out and that everyone up above on the surface needed help, and they were about to prepare to launch a nuclear torpedo. And everyone on the submarine except Vasily agreed with Savitsky, and if this torpedo was launched, then it would have hit Moscow, Germany, London, and East Anglia, I don't know. And it would have wiped out half of the British population. So if the torpedo would have been launched, then it could have caused like a Holocaust, basically, and it would have obviously caused a lot more conflict within the world. Vasily vetoed them launching the torpedo, and that was the right decision, obviously, because nuclear weapons are no joke. So yeah, that's all of the information I have on the butterfly effect. I think this theory is so interesting, and it needs to be talked about more. Like, this is such an underrated theory. Like, the Mandela effect's cool and all, you know, but... So yeah, I guess that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure you go down below, like, subscribe, especially if you're excited for True or Theory Tuesday, because I'm excited to start filming them because I love this stuff so much. No lie, no joke. All truth, no tea. Anyways. I don't know what that was. Okay. Make sure you go check me out on all my other social medias. My Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok will all be linked down below if you want more of me while I'm not posting, because we all know that's a lot. So if you enjoyed, make sure you go down below, like, subscribe. I already said all that, so I guess that's it. Bye. Okay, so if you're still here and you like haven't subscribed, then like, who are you? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? That's like weird and rude and not respected. So I can't talk correctly. Okay. Oh my god, okay. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be the time that I get it right, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good.